Hey humans, Batsy here with a new Minecraft video. Today I wanted to make something different. I had this idea of making a survival-friendly starter base with Create, and I thought would be funny to make an all-in-one workstation, with every single Create machine we could need for a starting base. Things like a mixer, a crusher, a smoker, and so on. I'm only going to showcase the building part of it, since I want to encourage the humans to build their own bases. But I'm going to explain the Create side of things, so the humans understand how to replicate it on your own worlds. Over the weekend, and for the past few days, I have been working on a Discord server. I want to make a community so we can share build ideas, designs, maybe to help each other with the builds we're working on, or simply to just chat. The link will be in the description below. Everyone is welcome to join. But without further ado, let's get into the build. I want to take the chance to thank everyone for the constant support, and to remind the humans to subscribe. It really means the world, and it helps me grow the channel. Now that the outside of the base is mostly done, it's time to start building the actual workstation. Any base needs some storage, so I will go right ahead and place some chests over this wall. This many should be more than enough. For the other wall, and if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to fit all of the Create machines I planned for the base. We're going to start with the crushing wheels, which for now we're just going to connect with two gearboxes and a shaft in the middle so they both spin inwards. The next thing we should do is place down all the barrels for the inputs and outputs, since that will make it easier to build the rest. I recommend pausing the video if necessary, and just try to copy what I'm doing, but it's a row of 8 on top, with an extra barrel at the end, and a row of 9 at the bottom. With that done, we can start by placing the second crushing wheel, and adding one funnel on the top barrel for the input, and another one at the bottom one for the output. Always make sure the funnels are facing the right directions. Next we're going to place the funnels for the compacting machine, and actually just going to place down all the funnels, and be sure they all face the right directions, since it's easier to check now than later on. Back to the machine, we want to place a basin on top of the funnel. and a press above it, which means removing one block of the ceiling. Now we place a funnel to output the materials. On the side of the basin we place down a campfire to cook and smoke things. Then some mangrove roots with water inside them to wash up things, next a sole campfire to haunt items, and to finish, some lava. If you're playing in survival you might want to place the lava last. We place an encased fan in front of all of them, so it pushes the items, and we prevent the lava from moving with a trapdoor on the side. Make sure your setup looks like mine so far. Also don't worry about everything being so close together, items will fall straight, and the fans will move then straight into the funnel, they don't get mixed up, or picked by other funnels. With that part done, we move on to the mechanical saw. Make sure it's facing the right direction. I was able to place it like this, by clicking on top of the funnel below. Once that is in place we go to the front, and place a normal hopper into the mechanical saw. I place this chute for now so the items bounce from the saw into it, but you can pretty much ignore it, I will change the design later on. For now we place 2 shafts along this line. Then 2 more at the back side. And we connect them with belts. With a deployer and a press on top of the funnels, so they hit on the belt, and a chute at the end of each. Pause and make sure everything is alright. Now we're going to extend some shafts, like so. And connect everything with a belt. On the last part we place a mixer at the top. And a basin below. We place 1 hopper into the deployer on the left. And under the basin we place 2 trapdoors from behind, so we can close them facing forward. Now we place the blaze burner underneath. And we make a line of hoppers into the barrel below. With a funnel facing the hopper. At this point I went to change the mechanical saw. Making use of a hopper underneath instead, and a couple trapdoors in case items bounce. You can also remove the funnel that faces the mechanical saw, since I removed that later on. We're going to move a chain drive along the fans to connect them all up. Then we place a shaft on this one, and 2 more chains moving upwards for the crushers. Everything should be looking like this so far. Next we place 1 more chain drive on top. And move a couple shafts along this way. We connect it up onto the press with a belt. Like so. And now we move a line of shafts on top of the barrels, so it reaches the deployer. It looks like everything is moving the right direction so far. Oh. Looks like I forgot to connect the mixer. Okay, so what I thought is that we're going to replace this belt with a chain drive. With a couple gearboxes, like so. And the cogwheel on top. Then we place these 2 chain drives for later. I'm going to fix the roof, but feel free to build this in whatever way you like it better. We will work more on that later on, but for now we need some power for all those machines. I thought about making a windmill for this base, but even if a single windmill was enough, that still means we would need 128 sails, and it would end up being pretty damn big. Instead we're going for the steam engine. It's going to be more compact, and it will give plenty of spare power in case we want to add more farms around the base. I have a video explaining how steam engines work, but I will go over the basics in case someone is new to them. For a T9 steam engine, which is the maximum tier you can achieve with lava, you want a 3x4 tank. Of course the next thing we need is to fill the 3x3 bottom with blaze burners. We need 9 engines, which can be placed in any side of the tank. Then we add the shafts over the engines, making sure there is enough room for them, otherwise you won't be able to place them down. Next we want to generate the fuel for the blaze burners, and of course lava is the easiest way to go about it. According to the wiki, and if I remember correctly, we need 1.2 cauldrons for each blaze burner. For that I usually put 4 cauldrons for every 3 blaze burners. That should leave some spare lava to make it more stable. Before moving forward I decided to place the mechanical crafters, so I know exactly how much room I have for the steam engine. Mechanical crafters are always good to have in any base, at least if you plan on making crushers often. The next step for the engine is the water source. One single pump working at a 192 speed is what we need to reach the water demand for a T9 engine. Some people commented that 180 is enough, but it never reached T9 for me, so I'm not sure about it. Either way, we just want a single pump in the middle, and a 3-wide water source setup so the pump is always pulling infinite water. Then we place a single cogwheel on the side. Next we fill up the bottom of the cauldrons with pipes. We move one more pipe down at this exact spot. And we place a pump onto it, connecting the pump with a tank that we're going to use as a buffer for more stability. We move it up for 4 blocks. And we place a pump on top of it, right at the dripstone blocks level. Then we make a curve with some pipes. And we place a cogwheel with a shaft on the pump. We move more shafts down the cogwheel. And under the pipe we place a spout, with a depot with a 1-block gap. We place a funnel facing the depot as the input, and another funnel below the depot as the output, with another depot at the bottom. We want to use a lava bucket as filter for the bottom funnel, and an empty bucket for the side funnel. Now we take a mechanical arm, and we select all the blaze burners, which should have a yellow outline. The bottom depot with a blue outline, and the side funnel with also a yellow outline, and we place it next to the tank, at its lowest block. Before going further, I decided to decorate a little bit. Just some bricks around so it looks more tidy. The next part is connecting everything up, which I'm going to start by digging a tunnel to reach the chain drives we left before, on the other side. There is no right or wrong way to connect things up. I encourage the humans to do it in the way you like the most, or maybe the most efficient, or the least functional. It's all part of the fun of playing with Create. What is important is that we have a speed controller connected to the steam engine directly, so we can decide at which speed we want our base to be. I set it to 256, but anything that is at least at 192 for the water pump should be fine. You can even have several speed controllers around the base if you want to, which should make it more power efficient. With all that connected and decorated, it's time to start the engine. Pumps will face one way or another, depending on the rotational direction we give them, so I'm going to use a creative motor to test and configure everything. If you're in survival, you can just use a small windmill until the steam engine starts up. After having made sure all the pumps are facing the right directions, and filling the top part with lava, it seems like the spout is working perfectly, so we can remove this creative motor, and let it ramp up, which might take some minutes until enough lava is generated. I have spent some time decorating the interior further, tweaking the connections, and the machines, until they all working the way I wanted them to be. And with that, the build is pretty much done, so let me show you what I have done, and what I have changed. As you can see, I added some beams at the top, a crafting table, and some other things at the side. Just the common stuff for any base. Up this ladder I added a little enchanting area, just the basic setup, with some barrels and all. Down here it's the steam engine, of course. I think the deep slate floor and all looks alright enough. Then of course, we have the wall of machines, with a little bed on the side, in case we need to skip a night. Then back here I changed a couple things. Right, first I added this chain drive, this leads to the other side, where I connected this stressometer, just in case we need to check how much stress we got left. The next thing is this hopper under the crushers. I realized when I tested it that all the items were stuck on top of the funnel I placed, so instead I decided to go for a hopper, which works fast enough for basic crushing. This funnel is a bit awkward, because the basin kept dropping everything I placed on it, so if you want to pack things up, you need to place the filter here, but to be fair, not sure who packs that much variated stuff anyway, so should be fine enough. Everything else down here is pretty much the same as it was before. I changed this mechanical saw slightly, not sure if I already showed it at some point during the video, but pretty much I added a hopper at the bottom, and removed the funnel on the barrel since we have another hopper at the front, and also the trapdoors in case the logs bounce. I haven't found any problems with the current setup, and it's surprisingly compact actually. These are pretty much the same, and over here we have the tunnel I made to connect things up. Yes, this funnel is also awkward. You need to place the filter of the item you mixing, otherwise the basin empties before anything happens, but I have it mostly for brass, so should be fine enough. I have added some decorations here and there, just wrapping things up so it looks more like a base. I like how everything turned out. Almost forgot, we also got this mechanical crafter in the back, with a barrel to output the resulting items. With all that out of the way, let me show you the machines. Let's take some gold for example. As you can see, the system isn't instant, but it works quick enough for most cases. Let's take some of this iron and place it on the washer, which should give us some nuggets eventually. While we wait, we can add some salmon on the smoker, so it gets cooked. We can also test this press in a moment. Perfect, the nuggets are here, so let's make some ingots, and take those into the press. And we got some iron blocks. The smoker is also done cooking the salmon. Next we have the haunter, so let's place the sand for that one. It's gonna take a while to become soul sand. In the meantime, let's see what we can put in the smelter. Of course, this gold can be smelted. So let's put it there. It's taking a bit to process, but with a single fan this is as quick as it gets. Perfect, we got the soul sand already. Next let's check the mechanical saw. It goes one by one, so it will take a moment to process them all. But look, the gold is already done too. For the deployer, we want to place the alloys up in this hopper. Then we wait a moment for the oak to strip. And we place all the wood in this barrel. Casings get produced really fast. Next let's take the gold, and place it on the press. Which also works one by one, but it's quick enough. And to finish we have the mixer. Which doesn't need the filter for the recipe, but needs the filter in the back funnel to work. But we pretty much power it up with some coal. We place the items we want to mix. And that's pretty much it. Maybe I will end up adding a door on this side to access the funnel faster. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really happy how this wall turned out. I hope the humans learned from this video, and that it gave some inspiration to make your own workstations. I think having a building like this in the base is a really good idea. As always, remember that there are no good or bad ways of doing things with Create. Experiment, and go wild with it. That is the true beauty of the mod, so don't be afraid if your build isn't the most perfectly efficient one. I know mines aren't. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.